Hey guys, welcome to Birdie Little Secrets. I'm Cass, that's Sid, and it's time to spill the tea. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of BLS. We just wrapped up the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson, and Scottie Scheffler, man.
Surprise!
Surprise. Is it a surprise? I don't know. Scottie Scheffler is back in the winner's circle. I hate to say he's back because he
never
back.
really left.
He just hasn't won in, couple events, and
Right.
everyone's like, is he okay?
Gosh, like, no way. I don't think Scottie's going to win this year. It's like, okay, everyone take a breath.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see tour players winning like back to back to back to back all the time.
Right.
So, yes, was Scottie's year last year incredible? And did it take him a little while this year?
Yes.
Yes. Does that mean he was never destined to win again? And
No.
like the great Scottie Scheffler is no longer?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Well, he definitely heard everyone
Yeah,
and was like, well, I'm just going to show up and shoot 31 under par.
I'm just going to show up and not only win,
Yeah.
but I'm going to go out here and tie the all-time scoring PGA Tour's all-time scoring record.
Like the PGA Tour, yeah.
Of all time.
Yeah. No, he's like, nah, I have to set some sort of record somewhere. I can't just win.
He's like, I can't just come out here and have people be like, oh, well, he only won.
Yeah. But I have to say that for the first time, you and I were wrong. He did it without a beard.
Oh my goodness.
I know that you probably don't hear that often, that you're wrong.
Never, actually.
I know, I've never heard it.
It actually never happens.
But yeah, he did it
Happens
without
all
a
the time.
beard. And I thought that was just an insane move.
Wow.
But
Not me also watching and seeing, and I didn't really even notice he didn't have a beard. Has he not had a beard for a while now this year? Because I feel like
I don't know.
It was the beard curse, but now that is no longer because he did it without a beard.
Listen, it doesn't matter my opinion, but I don't like it at all. You need to let's grow it back.
We need to bring it
but
back.
Again, we're all laughing over here. He's 31 under, just taking home the trophy. It's
Yeah.
Who cares about the beard? I care.
I mean, yeah,
I care.
We care,
Right?
As the girls over here just trying to.
I don't think it just doesn't.
He needs one.
Yeah.
I think he has a face for one.
For sure.
He's got that round face where it's without it, he looks.
It's not that he looks
10
bad.
years. No,
it's just
not at all.
He looks so much better with the beard.
Yes. I think the beard ages him in the good way.
Yeah,
the good
100%.
kind. Without the beard, he looks so young.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of young, this is actually the tournament where he made his PGA Tour debut 11 years ago. Little 17-year-old Scottie.
So cute.
Now 28 years old. No beard. Didn't have a beard then either.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Couldn't grow one back then.
Didn't grow one.
Yeah,
but,
full circle moment for Scottie
seriously,
Scheffler.
yeah, Texas boy, winning in Texas, winning at Byron Nelson's event as well, which is just one of the greats in golf. And
there was
super
a
respected.
photo all over Golf Channel of him as a young boy in 2003 with Byron Nelson.
Yes,
Crazy.
Yeah, and actually, now that you speak about that, Amanda Balionis, who is an iconic golf personality, interviewer for Golf Channel, and his post-round sound right after he won on the green, he got emotional. He was super emotional. And for the first part of that interview, she was asking him to walk us through what this means.
Yeah.
And going back to what we said, he's like, this tournament is steeped in my history. This is where I made my start. I was here with his girlfriend at the time, Meredith, who was in the crowd watching her high school boyfriend, her high school sweetheart,
so cute,
make the cut at that tournament and just do very well for himself there too, to now winning it with his son. He was holding Bennett in his arms. It was so emotional, and he started to cry. And then Amanda Balionis showed him, had a framed photo of Scottie and Byron, and he was just this, it's just an honor to win this man's event, because he is just his idol.
That's crazy.
So just so many highlights.
Yeah,
and,
you don't see Scottie cry often.
No, you don't.
That is for sure, especially in like an interview like that.
Absolutely.
Like he's usually very composed, but like holding Bennett probably changed everything.
Oh yeah.
And we were just watching a clip before we came on air of Dan Rappaport interviewing him after and saying like, what was the emotions? Like, where did those come from? And he was like, listen, like basically what you just said. My sister was on the bag for me last time. Now our babies are turning 1, which by the way, didn't know that.
Yeah. How did we not know that either?
His sister gave birth on the same day that Bennett was born. So now they share the same birthday.
How did I not know that? I would love to ask them like about that. Yeah. Like, how did that go where you were obviously there with like your wife for your son's birth?
Oh, of course.
But then also, you know, you're like, were they born in the same hospital room?
And where were the parents? Yeah, where were the grandparents?
Yes. Where were your parents at? Because we have to know this. Like, who?
That's some tea.
That is tea. Like, do you think they split up and then they switched the next day? You know, like
it's like the Cootie brothers when they play golf, and we saw that one interview.
Switch who they go watch.
But it does. It makes so much sense. It's all full circle, and then he's like standing there interviewing, holding Bennett. They're about to celebrate his first birthday. It's just it all came back to that moment, and yeah, it was interesting to see Scottie get choked up.
It was, especially if you think about too, like. I mean, his resume is already like so stacked, but like his 14 PGA Tour wins and 2 of them being players wins and Masters wins. And he was obviously very emotional for those wins too, but it's like no tears. And it's just, I think it also means more when you win at home or like close to home. Like he's so proud to be like a Texas boy.
Oh, and everyone's there. Yeah. Like so proud to say Scottie Scheffler like lives here with us.
Yeah. Exactly.
100%.
So I think that also added something to it. But yeah, what a special tournament. Yeah. I mean, no one was catching Scottie.
But did they put up a fight?
Oh,
Jordan.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Jordan.
I love seeing Spieth back in Spieth form.
Yeah, he like if and they were saying like on air, like if it were anyone else in the lead, like Jordan probably would have won. Eric Van Rooyen as well played super well, and he was just like busting it out on that course and was obviously with Scottie. So that must have been just like a fun. Like, I would love to, like, know how Eric Van Rooyen felt. Like, knowing that he's, like, having, like, one of the best tournaments he's had ever. Yeah. And he just also knows, like, Scottie's 8 strokes ahead of me. At one point, it was double digits ahead. Like, what do you even do? Like, you have to just have a good time. And I almost feel like it could have been why he played so well, because it's like you just take the pressure off. It's like,
that is such a good
like,
point.
he's going to win. Yeah. Like, I'm so sorry. He's literally at 1.10 strokes ahead of me. He is probably going to win. The best that I can do is just get second or like just have a good time and play well. And I feel like maybe that also probably alluded to like him playing so well. Yeah. But that's just speculation.
Right.
And I've been wrong before.
We're just girls gabbing.
We're just girls gabbing about golf. So
take that with what you will. But no, I feel like that definitely had something into his mindset of why he was able to just kind of like breathe and enjoy the back nine and be a part of that moment, like for Scottie, really.
Yeah. We also have to talk about the delay because there was
oh my word, yes. Yeah. And can we also talk about like Kassidy's luck, because we did allude to
how I have bad luck,
your luck last week and just this week, just having it being like proven. I just saw him laughing as I'm saying it because it's just hilarious.
Just to get like a little background, I have worked every single tournament for PGA Tour Live this season thus far. This past week, I worked the World Feed, which mimics the network, and
huge show.
Yeah, it's
really
a huge
cool
show. Yeah. It's a totally different vibe, something fun. Someone had PTO. They needed me to fill in. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have so much to learn. But you know what? Let's go in there. Let's do it. And the show is typically 3 hours on Thursday, Friday, 5 or 6 hours maybe on Saturday, Sunday. For PGA Tour Live, we're in there at 6 a.m. for prep.
Or earlier sometimes.
Or earlier, on air at 8, all the way until about 7 p.m. And then we do that for 4 days in a row. So when they asked me to do World Feed, I was like, I do have a lot to learn. I'm a little nervous, but wow.
Those hours
sound super great to me. I'm excited.
The 1 week.
Yep, the one freaking week, people. They decide that they want to go into a 6-hour delay on round 2, which, of course, I've never done rainfill before. Just so much to learn. We do the delay. Whatever. Come back the next day, and they have to finish. I don't think they finished round 2 until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Had to make the cut, do new pairings, and then I was on air until 9:45 at night. Made history, the longest world feed that they've ever done.
Yep, your luck
for me.
Your luck.
So I just got stuck doing PGA Tour live hours. Yeah. Like it was just crazy. It was just crazy. But anyways, not that this is about me. While we were still there, because there's an hour delay from Texas, whatever. So it's 9:15 for us. It is pitch black out there.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that people, if you watch golf from home, you do not understand.
This is a behind the scenes scoop.
Yes. Everyone is always like, oh, what are they complaining about? Like, why aren't they finishing? Because, okay, actually,
can see it.
Let me take it back. So if the horn blows due to darkness, you're allowed to finish, the player's allowed to finish the hole that they're currently on. Mm-hmm. So they kind of strategically did it. Everybody wanted to finish that night. Nobody wanted to come back early on Sunday morning to finish round 3 to start round 4. Who wants to do that? Even as a player, you don't want to do that. So they waved them up to let them tee off. Then the horn blew on 18. Scottie's going up 18. There's a group on the green because they waved them up. So they're allowed to finish, and Scottie's allowed to finish if they want. They decided to do it because, again, who doesn't want to finish? But everyone from home, if you choose not to finish, will always be like, why aren't they finishing? Like, the sun's going down. What's the big deal? No.
Sitting on your couch watching the TV, you can see the green and the ball, and you can see everything. Right.
But
it seems
do not
clear.
Get it twisted. Mm-hmm. That is technology, people. We are lightening the cameras.
That is live color correction.
Correct. Overexposing, making it look bright. It is actually so dark. There were shadows on the green from the lights that they had on from the leaderboard. Like, it was dark. Yeah. It was literally almost pitch black. The sun went down. We watched the whole thing. And there were shadows out there from the lights. That's how dark it was. There were a few shots that we were like, let's show it. Like, let's show the people at home what it actually looks like. Yeah. So we did a few shots from far away so you could see. But
that's so cool.
Yeah. So that's why, not a lot of people can play golf, let alone play it in the dark. I don't know about you. People at home sitting on your couch watching. So that's kind of why they allow you to finish if you want. Everyone did finish, but what I thought was really cute, the point of this whole story, not that I was sitting in the chair for 9 hours.
Not that it's about you.
Not that it's about me. Scottie stayed and did autographs for everyone who waited in the dark to watch him finish.
Wow, I didn't even see that moment. That's really cool.
It's just because he was that young boy once, standing there waiting, not in the dark, but waiting for them to finish and get an autograph. Aww. So I just thought that was super cute.
I love how this story first started with you sitting in the chair for 9 hours.
Yeah, I know that you loved that. I know that
and
you
finishing
loved that.
In the dark.
Yeah, and finishing in the dark. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, we've said it a million times. Scottie's such a stand-up guy. He's genuinely seems like one of the most down-to-earth golfers out there. I know and especially this year, you could see some of his frustrations out on the course where he's gotten a little bit of a short fuse, but end of the day, he's one of the golfers that stays, finishes in the dark, and then signs the autographs for the fans. That is so telling to me.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. We're big Scottie stan. Just, maybe grow out the beard. I don't know.
Big Scottie stans. Maybe just with the facial hair.
Yeah.
It's like when any of your friends all of a sudden decide to shave the beard. We just had one of our friends jump scare show up at
the party that I couldn't attend because I was 12 hours late because I was in the chair for 9.5 hours.
Exactly. Which also, guys, that would be Cass's luck, where it's the one weekend I'm hosting a Kentucky Derby party and I live so close to the office, but she has to show up at 9:30 because she's still...
Yeah, and I had to get a hat, obviously, for the Kentucky Derby.
Don't worry, it was themed. I know how to throw a good party. Themed, dressed up in our hats and everything.
Correct. So, but I didn't... I don't have just like a Kentucky Derby hat lying around.
Oh, wait, this is so funny.
Believe it or not. So I woke up in the morning. I checked Nordstrom Rack, which is on the way to work. Yes. Nothing. They weren't open. Marshalls, they didn't open in time. This is like the night before in bed, like planning where I'm going to go in the morning. I was at Kohl's, 9 a.m., waiting for the doors to open so I could run in there and get a hat to rush to work to then find out I was going to be on air.
You're going to miss the entire thing.
9:45 at night. And then I was like, screw it. Like, I'm not even going to put this hat on or change my clothes.
I know.
I still came.
I know. And also, I was also surprised that, like, by the time you showed up, too, that we were all still wearing our hats. Yeah, right. No, both. Yes.
Yeah.
Both of those things. Like, I'm pretty sure I kept my hat on, like, the whole entire time, which was...
You had a lot of things
on. There was a lot happening. It was a really fun party, but...
But anyway, yeah.
Golf. We know I'm the horse girl. Like the boots, actually, the boots did come out for the CJ Cup Byron Nelson. Like I was wearing boots at one point. It just happened to be Kentucky Derby as well. But
yeah, I didn't see many on the course, but I guess I wasn't really paying attention, even though I said I was going to, but I didn't. Oh, so that's on me.
Yeah, that seems like a big L on your part.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I'm glad that you got to let loose a little on Saturday and have fun. That's what people need to keep their mental health in tip-top shape.
So you're like, so mine is just all-time low.
Alcohol.
Yes.
That would have been the back of your caddy bib for sure.
Wait, that's hilarious. Yeah, that definitely would have been.
Yeah, so the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson does this initiative every year for mental health awareness, and they're committed to championing the mental health of children and families, and they do a lot of initiatives and charities where they donate a lot of money, but on top of that they encourage and give the players the option to put on the back of their caddy bib like how they improve their mental health. So for example, breathe, music, stuff like that. Like what
arts, time with
Sydney's
family
would be alcohol. No, but I was laughing because everyone, like, we got the list of like what they all said, and everyone was like so wholesome, like breathe, hang with friends, family, and then there was like a handful that just wrote play COD. Like, okay.
Like, this is what, like, I'm pretty sure that is supposed to like tear you down.
Do you?
Yeah, you, whatever. But if de-stresses
like,
you.
This like really graphic,
really intense game.
Like, like insanely gory game is like what calms you down and keeps your mental health in check. Like, do it.
Then you do you. And like, we're here to support anyone's mental health initiatives and whatever benefits them.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, not alcohol. That was a joke, guys.
No, I hope they got that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I feel like at this point they understand.
I also have Call of Duty sitting in my on my Xbox.
Oh my God, you do.
I do. So I support.
Sydney's a gamer,
them.
guys.
I am.
Fun fact.
Just a little gamer girl.
Yeah. But we just learned with our next guest told us that that's like a way to meet love, guys.
Oh yeah. No, we get all the tips and all of the inside scoops with our amazing next guest. We can't wait for you guys to listen.
A few weeks ago, I was lucky enough at the RBC Heritage to meet our next guest and get just a little taste into life on tour with her boyfriend, Brian Campbell. Kelsi McKee, welcome to Birdie Little Secrets.
Yay, thanks for having me, guys.
Yay, we're so excited to have you on. As Cass said, she got a little taste. I wasn't there, which is, I was so sad, but now we get the full meal.
Oh my goodness, Sydney.
We get the buffet, the full course. So like, let's start from the very beginning, an appetizer, if you will. Sorry, I'm like taking full.
Just get to the question.
So what, can you give us like how you guys met? Like, what is your love story?
Yeah, oh my gosh. Well, we both grew up playing golf, first and foremost. So I played golf for 10 years competitively as a junior. And even started to in college, but I was actually getting pretty burnt out at that time. So I just decided, no, I love to write. I mean, I'd been writing since I was a kid, pretty much, and I'd published my first novel when I was 16, self-published. Wow. And I loved writing. Like it was my world. And so, anyways, little history there. So we both played golf. We even found out we played in the same golf tournament in Florida. Yeah, which is crazy. Like, never met or anything, but
that's so crazy.
But we did end up connecting. Like, right shortly after I graduated college, I was in my first big girl job, big city, Boston. So exciting.
Wow.
So overworked, so underpaid.
Yeah,
right.
Everybody knows that drill. But basically, Brian was in California at the time playing. He was on the Corn Ferry Tour. So he had already been on the PGA Tour for a year and was now on the Corn Ferry Tour. And basically, yeah, like, I slid in his DMs. That's the famous story. But what people don't know about this story is actually there were a few, like, hints leading up to that from him. I mean, he had followed and, like, liked a couple of my posts. I was posting, like...
we know how that goes, yeah.
Yeah. I was, like, posting some golf stuff, golf swings and all that, just because, I mean, I just was keeping up with that even while working or trying to. And so he'd already kind of, like, you know, sent the post. And then I was like, okay, I'm just going to, like, DM him. Let's see what's up. Because I'm very, like, I'm just a very direct person. I'm just like, okay, like, who is this guy? What's his story? I'm just going to, like, say, hey.
Yeah.
I did look up his because I saw he was a pro golfer. So I was like, okay, I'm going to look up, see, you know.
How good are we talking?
But also though, the funniest part too is that he had a mustache at the time on his PGA or on his Corn Ferry pick, and I'll try to send you guys, like, the picture if he allows me. I have to, like, get his permission first, because honestly, it was not the best mustache, and he's never done one since, because that just shouldn't happen on some people. And
that is insane that he had a mustache for, like, that photo. Like, you didn't think about it at all.
Right.
Like, that's crazy.
I looked him up, and I was like, I saw the photo. I was like, okay.
You're like, wait.
Gosh, sometimes those photos can be so horrific. Yeah.
And, like, he was, single, right? So, I mean, he didn't have anyone to help him prep for that picture. So he just went full stash, and, it's everybody has that phase in their life.
Yeah, everyone has that phase. I'm so glad you understood that. Like, he just needs a little guidance, and, like, that's what I'm here for.
And the mustache will never happen again.
May nobody else suffer from that. No, but anyways,
wait, that's so funny that you looked him up. I'm dead. I love that about you.
Because I when I was reaching out to him, and saying hi, I didn't want to just be like, oh, hi, who are you? Like, I didn't want to just, like, ask the question. I wanted to actually, like, okay, let me just at least look. And let's face it, we girls, we're researchers when it comes to social media.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Well, I was just about to say, like, Cass can definitely find that mustache photo. So, you might as well just send it to us.
I am definitely a sleuth, for sure. But I'm curious, is there anything that you could have seen on his stats that you would have been like, maybe not?
No, absolutely not.
He's not ranked number 1 in strokes gained to the green.
I was thinking more of, like, a top 10, but, like...
I tease him all the time. I was like, the last guy I'd been out on a date with before I'd started dating him, like, topped the ball off the first tee. And I kind of realized, I was like, you know what? I need to be with a golf, at least somebody who can, like, play golf.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you definitely understood the assignment there.
But yeah, no, I sent the first DM, and then he actually reached out for the first date. So it was 3 months. We'd been talking for 3 months, been friends. And then he, like, reached out and was like, hey, let's, like, you're in Boston, I'm in California. Like, let's meet up, like, in the middle somewhere. So he suggested Chicago. Well, he went to school at Illinois, and he was going to be in the Chicago area for an event. And I was like, I just was like, I don't know. Like, it just wasn't vibing with me at that time, because I was really busy with work. I just didn't want to start a long distance thing. I mean, we all hear the horror stories about long distance. And it's just, anytime I'd tried it before, it just didn't work out. So I was like, I just don't know.
That's a lot of work for a first date, too. Like, you gotta
get flying to Chicago for a first date. I was just about to ask that. I'm like, that's crazy.
In a way, I was like, oh, this could be so romantic. Like, oh, just a weekend to meet somebody. Like, how cool is that? And I'd already got a good vibe from him. He was super sweet, super nice guy. But I just was like, this just isn't right for me, and I have to, like, listen to my gut on this one. He was like, no problem. Absolutely. We stayed friends. Like, we were still, like, messaging every day. We'd even FaceTimed a couple times, like, just hung out online and stuff. And actually, we both played video games, too. So that's the other part I was going to say. Like, if anyone wants a suggestion for a good long-distance dating tip, I suggest video games.
Take a Fortnite.
Yeah, actually, Fortnite is the game we play.
Fortnite? I knew it.
That's the only one you know, Sid. No, I'm just kidding.
But it's so easy and so fun. Like
it is.
It's addicting.
Yeah, that's funny.
Because
you can talk. Did you have like the headset on and everything?
Yeah, like that's a great way to get to know somebody. You're just sitting there like getting kills in the game, and then you're just like, so what are you having for dinner? Like it's a great way just to get to know somebody. That's a little bit more like than face to face FaceTime. I mean, that's just so rigid and stuff. But anyways, yeah. So didn't meet till 6 months of just chatting.
Crazy.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? We were just like best friends. Like that's what we were at that point.
That's the best start. I love the friends, like really close friends before you start dating. Yeah. Like that's one of my favorite tropes.
Like I even like we because he was going through a hamstring injury at that time, and we literally just talked about golf and talked about things that life, all this stuff. Yeah. And then 6 months down the road, he was like, "I'm going to fly to Boston." So he booked a ticket to fly to Boston to spend the weekend, and it was the best weekend of my life. And then I was like, well, now I'm hooked. So.
Now I'm locked in.
You're like, now I'm in love. So dang it.
Oh, that is adorable. Wow. So it definitely was a lot more than just that first DM. Like there was a lot more to it. That's crazy. Wow. I love that for you.
Also, like, were you nervous for him to fly in for a full weekend? Like, having something planned? Like, especially in your city. Like, he would, you have to plan the itinerary. Like, you have to make sure, like...
It was all on me. Like, he was like, I want to see he's never been to an NFL game. He wanted to go to a Patriots game. I actually ended up suggesting no Patriots game because it was November. It was in the middle of November. Sleet was coming down in Boston that weekend. And I was like, he had a hamstring injury. I was like, this is no good for you. No.
Yeah. So and he's coming from what, California? Like the warm?
Yeah. I was like,
that's too much.
But he really wanted to see a Patriots game. So what we did is we went to, if anyone knows Foxborough, Massachusetts, there's this amazing bar, CBS Sports Bar, and it's right next to the stadium. And there's like, you can see the goalpost. Oh my gosh. I have football friends.
The goalpost.
Yeah. But the goalpost, you could see it from the bar.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
It was so cozy. We were just in there with our beers, watching the game on the big screen.
I love that.
Yeah. So I was like, this is way better.
So he obviously fell in love with you immediately, too. Like, you're taking him to a sports bar to watch football on your first date. That's crazy. I love that.
Perfect.
This is just all unfolding so well.
It's been great. And now we're almost on 6 years. So the first date we started talking was in June. So it was like June 6th, I think, or something around that time. And so we're almost coming up on 6 years since that first talk.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. Both of us don't really remember much now. It was a very blurry time. He was injured. I was overworked, underpaid, as I just mentioned.
Yeah.
And, it was a rough
And now
time.
you're a published author. He has a PGA Tour win. Like, life has definitely exploded for the both of you since then. Wow. That's amazing. But you touched on it a little bit. Long distance is difficult. You guys are still long distance, aren't you?
That's right. So, as I mentioned, Boston, California, and we both realized like 2.5 years in, we were like, okay, this has got to change. Yeah. But at the same time, he was in the red for 2 years. Like he was in medical. He didn't, just wasn't making money. And the fun part of the story that I like to tell, it wasn't fun at the time, but we were looking at like other jobs. Like I was trying to help him job search and stuff just for other work because he was injured. He could, he didn't know if he was going to play anymore. And so we were figuring that out. So he moved to South Carolina to be closer. And his fun fact is that his parents live in Bluffton, South Carolina. So it made it really easy. He could move to be closer to his parents, worked out. He got like a tiny little apartment, which he still has that apartment. And that's another reason why we're not like living together now is because we're like looking for places and stuff and just haven't been able to get out of that. He just won like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So
now
he has some money in the bank, but I know, but
now it's all happening.
Yeah, now it just it took time. It took time to get there, and I'm with my parents in Myrtle Beach, which is funny because the Myrtle Beach tournament is this week too, which is just so cool. Yeah, but and I'm able to be with family a little bit and just spend time with them, and then we're on the road so much, so we're basically like living together on the road, and now I have like a support system that I can have at home, people around me, just in the short term while we figure stuff out. So it's been really great, really helpful.
Right. It's so interesting to me too. You talk about like helping him job search for for a different, because I can assume he's like, I want to play golf for the rest of my life. Like I want this to be my main source of income, like my main job. What was that kind of like, especially living long distance? Like How was that mentality kind of in your guys' relationship, like, translating for you?
Yeah, so I mean, he was just moving to South Carolina at that time, and I'd come down to Myrtle Beach. My parents had a vacation house here, and that's kind of like how it started. Although it's still like 3.5 hours, so it is still long distance. That's why. That's why.
It's definitely still long distance.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, but us girlies on the PGA know that even when we're living in the same place, it's still a long distance relationship. I mean, they're traveling 100%. So much, it's crazy. But anyways, yeah, so I guess we just didn't really, like, he'd never done anything but golf. Golf's in his heart. And I kind of saw that too from the get-go. I was like, there's nothing. He is very, very good, a good teacher, and very good with kids too. And I was like, well, that's easy. Like, he could easily get into that. He's also, from his injury, been amazing at learning, like, PT too, like personal training, like areas of the body, like figuring out where stuff hurts and how to fix it and all that.
Right.
I'm so good at that. So, I mean, those are two areas that immediately came to my mind. Although what's hilarious is that when I first asked him, I was like, what would you do if you didn't golf? This is one of our first times talking on the phone. And he was like, he said, make music. Literally those two words, make music. And I kind of
said he was a singer. You said he was a singer.
That's right. He's very artistic. He's a good drawer too. I hope he's okay with me saying that. Yeah. He's an amazing drawer too. But it's funny because, like, he said that, but, like, obviously, like, he's more talented, I think, in, teaching, being involved that way. But who knows?
From the tour to a DJ set, there you go. I
ask him. I was like, what do you mean by make music? Do you mean, like, DJing? Because, like, make music could mean a few different things.
That's very true. That's very open-ended. But luckily, he doesn't have to worry about that because he, like you said, he just got his first PGA Tour win this year. Obviously, that was a moment that everybody in the golf world talks about, the emotion that came out of it, and now it's starting to unfold why. That was 10 years, a decade in the making. I mean, we're learning that he was considering, like, maybe getting a different job at one point in those 10 years. That's a lot to unfold and unpack when you first win on tour. So can you just talk about that moment and, like, how that just changed everything?
Absolutely changed everything. I mean, we're still in the whirlwind, like, just three months later. I don't even think it's been 3 months. But he was, like, he had medical for 2 years, as I mentioned, barely any status, was in the red for multiple years, and then got 75th. In 2023, he placed 75th on the Korn Ferry Tour list. He almost, in that last tournament, didn't even make the top 75, which would have completely, not placed him where he is now. Because he was on number 75. I mean, he almost didn't even have his card anymore. And so that's why we were in that place. We were trying to figure that stuff out. And I was trying to be as supportive as I could. And it's really hard to go through that together. But in a way, it was almost, like, great that we were able to go through those trenches, because that, like, once you make it through that, you can kind of make it through anything, right? Like,
100%.
It's so important sometimes for people just to bond together in those times. But so he, fast forward to the start of this year, he played amazing last year. I mean, people don't realize, I mean, he almost won several times last year on the Korn Ferry Tour. Second place, like, he was in the lead into the final round in Colombia, and then he played amazing the week after. So people just don't, like, see that he was already, it was going to happen. He was playing really well last year. And so we were preparing mentally for, like, that to happen this year, hopefully.
Right.
What we didn't expect is the start of the year this year, he had to withdraw from Hawaii because of the flu. We both had the worst flu of our lives.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness.
Sick for weeks. Like, I'm talking weeks. Yeah. It's the one that everybody got that was just... So he had 102-degree fever when the morning he was like, I guess, I shouldn't play. And I was like, no, you shouldn't play. Like, that's insane. What are you doing? So he withdrew, and literally, we were in the most beautiful place in the world in Waikiki Beach, and we were just, like, wallowing. Like, just couldn't leave the room.
That's horrible.
I'm telling you, we had, like, 2 amazing days there before this all happened, which was good. So we just held on to that memory of those 2 amazing days. And then we fly to Palm Springs for the American Express, and I think he placed 51st there. So, but he was still very sick. Like, I had a sinus infection that week. We went from the humidity of Hawaii to to the dry desert, and so I had a sinus infection, couldn't breathe out of my nose for like 3 days. He was trying to play a golf tournament. It was crazy.
This is life on tour, ladies.
Yes, like this is reality. Like I love hearing this. Like I know you're like, we were miserable, but I'm like, oh my God, this is just so cool to hear.
It was not glamorous. Like I love how like, you know, the wags on the tour, y'all were different than the wags on any other sport, because
y'all are built different.
Yes.
We have to walk hours in the sun. It's okay for, you know, like I play golf. I'm familiar with it, but at the same time, you're not in cute outfits. And if you are, they're getting dirty. Like, but anyways, so we were really sick, and he placed like 51st. Then we go to Torrey Pines, and he missed the cut in Torrey, and that was another like really rough week. I mean, the course was just playing insane. There was like a lot of
very
wind.
hard course.
It was.
Yeah, and insane wind. And just if you were on the wrong side of the course on the wrong day, sucks for you, you know?
That's what we talk about all the time. Yeah, because that went to a wind delay, which is just crazy. When we talk about how it can be unfair, but sometimes it's just luck of the draw. Like, are you waking up and playing in the wind, or maybe it's raining, maybe it's not. And then the later wave, like, they don't have to deal with that. So it's, that's the name of the game.
That's just right. It's the name of the game. It's the name of the game. And anyway, so we get to Mexico at that point.
And your life's just over it.
This is the season we're having. We've already missed a cut. We've withdrawn from a tournament, and we had like a decent finish while completely sick. So we're like, all right, let's just enjoy this beautiful location we're in, Mexico. Let's just have the best time. And that was his mentality. And that is his. I'll tell you what. Brian has one of the best mentalities on tour. I'm just saying that because I'm biased, but he doesn't get mad after a bad shot. Like he's on to the next. He doesn't over celebrate the good moments either. If you see him winning in Mexico, he's literally taking off his hat. I don't even think he believed that he won at that moment. Like he did. There was nothing over crazy, because he just, you know, he locks it in. He's not over showing all those emotions. But that shows especially on the bad days and the bad shots. Once it's over, he's over it, and he's ready to move on. And that is an amazing attitude, just for anybody.
That's tough, yeah.
And so that was the mentality in Mexico, was just, let's enjoy the week and let's just have the best time. Doesn't matter what comes out of it. We're on the PGA Tour. Like, this is a dream come true already. So let's just
You're feeling better. You're in Mexico. Like, let's just have some fun.
Yeah. Yes. So,
and then I love you saying, like, being on tour already, that's a dream in itself. Like, that's so cool. Yeah.
It is. And I didn't get to see him. We call it BK before Kelsi. I didn't get to see him the first year on the tour, so.
Wait, BK.
I love it.
That's so good.
Or anything that happened before him is BB, like before Brian. Like, it's again.
I love that.
But so it was amazing. And then again, as everybody knows, this was not his course to begin with. He knows it. Everybody knows it. This was a big bomber spot. And he just pulled it off in the most beautiful way possible. Yeah. And another thing about this is I'm very faith-based. I grew up Christian, and God has always been like my guiding force throughout life. And I think my prayers going into that week were especially strong. Like, I'd had some really strong feelings about that week. I had a really strong like bout of deja vu the day before he won, and I told his caddy, I was like, this is weird. Like, I feel like I've been here. I've seen all of this in a dream. Like, it was crazy. And his mom too, Brian's mom, she's very faith-based and a Christian as well, and she also had very strong like
I have the chills. Yeah, I have the chills. That's crazy.
And then I prayed too on that final hole, on the playoff, when they were in the playoff, like, because I couldn't see the tee shot, I couldn't see anything from the green, so all I could do was pray. And but everybody's like assuming, oh, you're praying for him to win. You're praying for him to win. I actually, yes, of course. Like, when he was hitting that last putt, I was praying for the win so bad because I wanted it so badly for him. But at the same time, I was also praying for the result that would bring us closer to God, like just in our relationship stronger. And I think both prayers were answered outstandingly because of what happened on that
Yeah,
final.
of course.
I think he would have won. You know, he would have won the tournament. He was playing strong. He's been playing strong. It's going to happen for him. But I think the way it happened was really special just because of the prayers that I was saying, and then it going like literally in the trees. Like
I was gonna say, I think
was
that
in
was
the
your
tree.
sign.
Because
that
tree.
What happened?
That bounce off that tree was incredible.
Yeah.
That was
His
like
caddy hugged me. Cooper, we have an amazing relationship with Cooper. He's outstanding. Just his work ethic is crazy. So shout out Coop. But he hugged me like fiercely on the green and was just like, you know, I actually think I believe God exists because of that, because of what happened. And again, chills. Like I just was like, yep, that's the answer to every prayer right there. You know, already. And we didn't know we were in the Masters at that point. Another funny part of the story is Brian booked his our two tickets to Puerto Rico that morning, guys. Like,
oh wow,
his mindset was not in it to win. Like, I mean, of course,
it's
his
so crazy.
Winning because he's like confident and all that. But like, he literally booked our tickets to Puerto Rico that morning, and then we find out, well, we're not going there. We're going to Palm Beach, and so it was crazy.
That is crazy. And I know you touched on it, but really quick for our listeners. So Brian went into a playoff, and he was in a playoff with Potgieter, who was number 1 in driving distance. And Brian at the time was in last place in that field for driving distance. That's what she kind of meant. That tournament was not really made for Brian, but I think that all speaks to everything you just said about your faith. And I honestly think that just sums it all up. I mean, nothing on paper said that he was going to win, but you definitely believed he could. He might have been booking tickets to Puerto Rico, but what's meant to be will be, and it was his time after 10 years trying, a decade of trying to win. And again, I have to bring it back to your emotion. You were just like, I think I watched it 100 times, just like you falling to the ground, like sobbing, so happy, and it was just a surreal moment.
It made us emotional watching.
If anyone knows, and I'm gonna get emotional again, but if anyone knew Brian and knew me, like, I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I'm a writer, like, I'm an artist. That's who I am. And if anyone knew that background going into this moment, and like me falling to my knees and knowing that Brian, literally every odd was against him that week. And just based on where we'd come from, my one quote was like playing over and over again sometimes in my brain, especially when he was going through the rough times. It's like, sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to realize that Jesus is the rock at the bottom. And there's a reason why sometimes we go through these tough times. And I think that this win of his, if anything, shows people that, like, you can absolutely do it. Like, you could literally be playing not great that year. You know, you could have rough tournaments, rough times. That does not mean anything. Like, we just came from a withdraw, a 51st, and a miscut, and then he wins. That does not mean anything. Like, where you're struggling. Clearly, he showed. He was the Seabiscuit. If anyone loves that movie, it's one of my favorite movies. And it was really special. Yeah. So
that journey makes the reward that much better as well.
100%. Yeah. Just so much. And like the rest of this year too, like even looking ahead, how do you guys see the future of this year? Like, is he still kind of like, oh, I'm like, let me book this other ticket instead of going and booking this one, or like how what's it like now?
Brian's so funny because he's the last minute planner. I'm class A. I am very much, we have to have things planned. We have to know what we're doing, or I get really anxious. But he's not that way. And look, like, that's sometimes opposites attract. Like, he has brought out that side of me that's made me like relax a little bit more. I always like tease. I'm like, I have Chihuahua energy. Like, I'm just go. I'm crazy. And now everyone's not going to be able to unsee it every time they see me. So, but
I love it.
But it's just like, he has that mentality of like, live YOLO, like live in the moment. And I love that about him. And so he's awesome. He's not thinking necessarily like down the road right now. He's just thinking like, let's just get through this week. He's in Pennsylvania right now. I'm in Myrtle Beach, like getting a bunch of work done and stuff. And so, yeah, he's not thinking too far ahead. And that's why he was booking the tickets to Puerto Rico. And that's why, and that's who he is. And anyone who tries to tell him, like, you should be differently, he needs to be who he is because that's what's gotten him to this point. Absolutely. So, no, he doesn't need to change anything. He just needs to, he's growing. We're all growing.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's okay if, like, we don't have our tickets. Like, right now we're trying to think, okay, we're going to Scotland, I think, this year. We don't, like, know where we're staying or anything like that. But we're going to figure it out. And
you'll figure it out together.
Yeah, 100%. I love it.
And then the Masters, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Masters. Like,
yeah, I was just about to say we need to talk about the Masters because again, you're saying all these things are happening and you're like, what is happening in front of me? The Masters, your first time, like what were your thoughts going into the Masters and were they different leaving the Masters? Like just give us everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we didn't know, again, just us being us, we didn't know or at least I didn't, maybe Brian knew, I didn't ask him or not, but I didn't know he was in the Masters when he won in Mexico. I didn't realize that got him in at the time.
Yeah.
So when I found out, I was like, what? I was like, that's cooler than the win. What are you talking, like, what? I should have been in that emotional state about the Masters, not the win.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like once we found out, I was like, I mean, it was my childhood dream just as much as it was his to even go and watch. Like, like we both never been to watch the golf tournament there at the Masters, and that, like, I grew up watching it on TV. Like every year, turn it on, I watched when Bubba Watson won, and that was actually one of my favorite moments too. Another great, fabulous story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I just grew up knowing what the Masters meant and the significance of it. And so I was like, well, this is crazy. Like, I was like, well, I gotta get some new outfits. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, now you're going and seeing your boyfriend play in the Masters. That's so pinch me. That's crazy.
From dreaming just to like go and watch Tiger before he played to being there and watching my boyfriend play. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's dreams can come true. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, so I mean, the outfit planning was crazy, and I definitely want to give a shout out to the girl who made my hand painted jacket, Lily. I have it right here.
Yeah, let's see that.
If anybody hasn't seen like the if I can get it. She did a fabulous job. I
mean, wait, you have the jacket. Yes. Cool. Oh, I love.
That's incredible.
She hand painted everything on this jacket, like even the little because he's sponsored by Penguin, the little penguins on the
that's
shirt.
That's insane.
Like,
wait, that's painted?
Yeah.
That's hand painted.
That looks like a photo.
Yes. Well, she painted it based off of a photo, but yeah, like it looks literally like a photo. Yeah. I'll send Cass the pictures so you can see too.
Yeah, we'll definitely post it and share because I was like kind of like bopping around 100%. On her Instagram, and she does all the different sports, like more than just sports too. Like
I need to give her a shout out, a big shout out.
100%.
My friend Brooke from college, like shout out to Brooke. Hi, Brooke. Her family, her dad coaches for the Buffalo Bills and her brother coaches for the Rams. I mean, talking about a football royalty. Wow. But she basically knew. I mean, she knew about this girl Lily because Lily had made her a jacket.
Cool. And
she did like the half football helmet, one for Rams, one for because of her family. Cool. So cool. And I'd followed her. I was like, wow, this girl's cool. I'm just gonna follow her just because she's an artist and I love like following artists. And their work and such. Mm-hmm. Well, Brooke didn't tell me, but when she found out that we were in the Masters, she commissioned this Lily to paint this jacket for me, and it was a complete surprise. Complete surprise. It arrives on my doorstep, and I look, and I'm just like, I almost passed out. I was like, are you the coolest gift ever? Like, absolutely the coolest.
That's so thoughtful.
Yeah, that's
like
so
of your friends. Yeah.
That's so unique.
That's it.
Okay. Well, we need a Birdie Little Secrets jacket now. I'm like convinced. I'm like convinced.
Yeah, we're gonna tag Lily.
Actually, people don't realize that she painted one for Olivia Alberg's girlfriend.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
She actually painted one for her for the Masters too, which I didn't realize. I thought, which she is. She's breaking onto the golf scene and doing it.
We need that.
In the most fabulous fashion possible. I mean, she made amazing jackets. So I think all the wags are gonna be on.
Yeah, they should. They absolutely should.
On our page soon. So
that's
Lily,
incredible.
watch out. More business.
I know. Yeah. coming your way.
What does Brian think of it? Does he have like imposter syndrome when he sees him painted on a jacket?
Oh my gosh. Anyone who knows Brian, he is the most humble, down-to-earth guy. He doesn't even post on social media. Like, he's not that kind of guy. And that's just who he is. And so it's just funny because, like, it's so uncomfortable for him. He's like, oh, this
right.
It's like, oh my God.
Not attention at all. So it's funny. Like, I walk around with it. But I think even though he was acting all like, oh, that's me. Yeah. I think secretly he was just like, oh, that's so cool. Like,
he's like, that's me on a jacket. So did you play in the par 3 contest?
I did, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah. How was that?
I mean, not play, obviously, because actually, this being our first time here, we were like, well, when do I hit, like, a shot? Like, I didn't even know.
Yeah, right, yeah. Like, when do you actually get to step in?
Everybody's probably different. What I found out at the par 3 is that I think people, and even the kiddos and stuff, were hitting shots, like, starting from the beginning.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Brian and I were very, like, we don't want to break any rules or do anything. So we were like, hey, let's just wait till, the end. I did hit a shot. I definitely, like, hit it heavy. I'll send Cass the video. It was, like, we would call it chunked it, but it actually made it to, like, almost the green, and it was, a decent swing. I was not mad at the swing.
Good.
But and what I was even more happy about was that before we went out, I'd been hitting balls on the range in the caddy outfit, and Freddie Couples, my absolute idol since I was young.
Oh my God.
I've met so many of like my golf idols since I was young. I was like, Brian, I promise I won't get starstruck. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll be chill.
Yeah, you're like, chill. I promise I'll be fine. Like, totally normal. And I'd be freaking out.
I mentioned I had to I have to date a guy with at least like a good swing. He's got to be able to hit the ball, get in the air.
Yeah.
Well, Brian has one of the best swings. I think second only to Adam Scott. And don't tell him this.
No. A lot of people are second to Adam Scott. I mean,
yeah.
He knows. I mean, Adam Scott has a phenomenal swing, and Brian played with Adam in the U.S. Open last year, and another really cool.
Gosh.
So I got I was like my childhood dream. I get to see Adam Scott and Brian. And I was like, don't worry, Brian, we're cool. Everything's gonna be fine. But
don't worry about me.
But Fred Couples was on the range, and he got to see me swing, and was like, wow, like he gave me a compliment on my swing.
Oh my God.
And I was like, you know what? That's gonna be anything ever again.
Yeah.
Like Fred Couples, who has one of the best swings, just commenting my swing. Complimenting my swing. So I was like, yep, all right, that's already.
I feel like because you're a writer, you need to write like a tales of the tour and like a novel about all of this and your experiences and your dreams coming true. I would read that book.
I would too.
Yeah,
I would too.
Well, hey, you're giving me ideas. I'm working on hockey romance right now because it's a challenge. Yeah, it's a challenge. So I don't know anything about hockey, so I'm actually figuring out as I go, which can happen for a lot of writers. You just gotta figure it out as you go. Yeah. But I think I need to write a golf book, so it's gonna happen.
100%.
Yes, we need a golf love story book, and like we can help you research, like,
and then we can turn it into a Hallmark movie.
Yes,
and it's like all coming together.
Oh my gosh,
I love it.
Yeah,
another dream coming true.
I absolutely love it.
We're so here for it.
Is there anything like about the Masters that maybe like surprised you or you didn't know, or like just something that maybe you were taken back, like in a good way, like a positive way?
Well, I mean, the whole experience was much. I mean, you grew up watching it on TV, and you're obviously like comparing it to that, and you're like, wow, that's like it's actually better in person.
Right. Yeah.
Crazy. I had no idea. Yeah, there were a lot of things that blew me away personally. Like I had no idea there were gnomes that people buy that like sell for like hundreds of dollars. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What's up with
I see that on TikTok.
Yeah.
I had no idea about the gnomes either for like the longest time. I was like, is this are there gnomes on the course? Like, why is the gnome the thing people are loving right now? But
I'm not like a knick-knack person, so I kind of just like graze over the gnomes, but people love them.
We bought 2 gnomes because they were like, oh, you can request up to so many gnomes per day. If we were like, oh, okay, we can request gnomes. So we were like, well, let's just get 2 gnomes. But like, so we got one for our friend and like, one
modest.
But to be honest, I'm like, I was shocked. I was like, I looked up online how much these gnomes sell for, and I was like, wait, what? Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Like, no way.
Masters merch. Like, I was shocked to find too that like people like love the Masters merch so much, and it was such hype. I also was shocked at how good the food was.
Okay, what was your favorite?
Yeah, so I loved the tomato pie. I mean, everyone like gets grossed out when I say, yeah.
I'm sorry, Cass. Did you know there was a tomato pie? Like,
no.
It wasn't at every like 10. I think it was only at select ones. But think about grilled cheese mixed with tomato soup in like this very
no, it sounds fabulous.
Yeah, in like a pastry. Yeah. A lot of people were kind of grossed out when I mentioned it because I mean you mix the word pie, which is normally associated with sweet things, with tomato.
But isn't it like a pizza pie?
Yes.
Isn't it like that? Okay, because I'm from the Northeast, and like that was at every family function, somebody would bring a tomato pie. I was not a fan of them.
Oh,
but
I didn't realize that was like...
It like looks like a pizza, but like more like a square pizza. At least the tomato pie I'm thinking of, and then it looks like you grab it like a slice of pizza, but it's like just red sauce, and like maybe you could sprinkle Parmesan cheese. That's the tomato pie I'm thinking of. I don't know.
Delicious. I bet they're both delicious. Or the one you're talking about is delicious. Yeah.
I don't know about the Master's tomato pie.
I know,
yet, but like maybe one day I'll circle back.
Well, Cass, we have to manifest our Masters, Masters experience. Right. Like we'll be with Kelsi there next year.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody's got to manifest it. You know, you got to have dreams so they can come true. You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
But yeah, the tomato pie was fabulous. The cookies were amazing. I think I had like 30 cookies. I mean, I was mostly stress eating because I was watching Brian.
Right.
Yeah. And I was like, cookies. So I had, most of them were moon pies. The moon pies were fabulous. So
that sounds delicious.
Yeah. And then they had like white chocolate macadamia nut cookies, but all the cookies were good. Cookies. Yeah. I have a sweet tooth.
I mean, cookies are amazing.
The food and the fashion are some of my things I'm like looking forward to the most going eventually. So I'm glad you like stepped out in both like the cutest outfits and having 30 cookies. So you did Masters the correct way.
Yeah.
You understood the assignment.
You did. I also just love how much you love golf. Like I love how much of this was a dream for you as it was for Brian. Like it's really special to be like, oh, I'm realizing like my dreams at the same time as you're doing it with Brian. I just think that's something that's so unique. So
I mean, you could have never pictured this happening. I mean, everyone says like, oh, you know, overnight success or whatever, and then you don't realize like what that's like until you live it, and then you're just like, wow, like suddenly you're in the Masters and every dream like is coming true and all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, we're both golfers. We both, and that's like we always stay like best friends through it all. Like it's just like, you know, that's how it works. You know, you just gotta be there. You gotta support, and it's definitely like I said, not glamorous at all, but
that's like the takeaway. It's like it's not. It really wasn't overnight success. You have put in so much work, and honestly, like you talked about it earlier. But it's like I feel like you found your person when you can get through the hard things together. Like the good things are gonna be good all the time. You're gonna do great, but like you should look for the person where like you want to go through the rough patches with, because that's the person that's gonna be by your side. And I just feel like that's all encompassed here by everything you guys have been through, and now you're at the Masters meeting Freddie Couples, and now you get to like live the glitz and the glam, even though there's still going to be moments on tour where you're like pulling your hair out, I'm sure, but
I mean the work is only just beginning, you know.
Exactly.
Yes,
the year is only just beginning. I mean, there's so much still left to play, so much golf. So we're super excited for the year to come, and gonna keep that's the other thing. We just keep being ourselves, you know. Like we agreed on that like last year when he was having success suddenly at that time, and I called it the Kelsi curse was broken, because when I met him he was injured, right? And so I always like subconsciously thought like I put a curse on him or something. Like, But then he was like, it took me winning a golf tournament for you to see that that's not the case. So I was like,
no, absolutely not. No, you're the Kelsi luck charm.
Yes,
that's
100%.
Now.
But it's gonna keep getting better.
Yeah. I'm just so curious. You also have a full-time job currently, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, let's talk about you.
Like I'm so curious, like what does like a day in a life or a week in a life look like with your busy schedule as well?
Oh man, like so when Brian and I met, I was working in the news industry, and I was in research. And if anyone knows that side, I'm sorry. That's tough.
Yeah.
I think you probably, Sydney, you were in Golf Channel, right? Or PGA Tour, like production stuff. Right.
Yes,
we
Cass and I both
research.
are.
Yeah.
So I came from the news side because I wanted to do like Golf Channel broadcasting, like that kind of was what stuff I wanted to do when I was like younger, and then I just realized like how crazy that world is, especially when I was in the news industry in Boston, and it was so exhausting. And then, I met Brian and things changed. COVID happened. I moved south. I started working in PR at that point. So I had a full-time PR gig. I was working in PR. And all of that led to what I do now, which I don't have a full-time job, but I do have my own business. And so I'm a copywriter by day, novelist by night, as they say. But yeah, so I write my thrilling romances, when I can in the early hours of the morning and at night, and when I'm in between when I'm traveling, sometimes on a plane, sometimes here, sometimes there, because that is also my dream too, is to be an author and to publish, my books, and who knows, we have a movie one day. I mean, I have that dream too, and
we're here for it.
Yes. Yeah. And writing's been in me since I was young. I published my first novel at 16. It's just what I love to do. Yeah. And yeah, but I am a copywriter too, and I have my own, client base, which makes it really nice for travel, because
that's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't go on the road much. I was really, really busy with work, and now that I have my own clients and my own schedules and stuff, that makes it really, really helpful. The only thing that I struggle with is managing my time, because I'll tell you what, kudos to people who do it right, because it's difficult to manage multiple work coming from multiple places, and then you're trying to publish a book and all this, and sometimes I'm just trying to come up for air,
and not get burnt out at the same time.
Yeah. I can't imagine there's a lot of people who can relate to writing novels and their boyfriend being a superstar on tour, and you are just a superwoman, so you're killing it. Absolutely.
Sometimes I just feel that's totally not the case, but it's crazy. Work can be fun. Work can, you can love what you do, and I try to tell people that too. Find what you really love to do and just do it and make it happen. Make it work.
I love that. Wait, I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you have a favorite book? Because I would love a book rec
Sydney
from
is
you.
the biggest bookworm I have ever met in my entire life. I'm not even just saying that.
Hearing you talk about it, I love writing as well. I grew up loving doing that. My favorite class in college was creative writing, and I felt so.
Well, maybe you'll write a book. Hey, I'll help you.
Let's do it.
Writer.
See,
here we go.
Yeah, I love it. So I'm just curious to hear your book recs for me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So everyone's gonna hate me for this, but I have not dove into the whole Court of Thorns and Roses and in that world. I just, it's a little bit of it's overwhelming.
It's a lot.
I'm so busy right now anyways, I just don't have time to dive into that. But I mean, I love some of these, I love classics too. Who really made me want to be a writer was actually Jane Austen. So I've read every Jane Austen book imaginable, and I've reread them thousands of times.
Yeah.
And I loved Nancy Drew, those kinds of books growing up.
Nancy Drew.
Yeah, everybody's forgotten about Nancy Drew.
I know. I haven't heard that name in a while.
No, that's right, because nobody, I don't even know if anyone reads her books anymore. But yeah. So I mean, I love the classics, so I always go back to those. The Art of War, I love strategy and all that.
Okay. Oh, yeah. That's an intense recommendation.
Yeah, history, strategy, But I can give you some fun recs too. I love Emily Henry's books. So
yes, she's fabulous.
You probably already know, but her books are great. I'm reading Gate to Kagoshima right now, a fabulous story about a girl in Scotland who, it's kind of got Outlander vibes. So she basically travels. She goes to Japan to find out about her great-great-grandfather, who was a samurai, and then gets transported back in time into this world and falls in love in this
Okay, I'm writing this one down. This one sounds like it's up my alley.
I'm about to go to Japan too, so this is the book that
you're gonna live out that book for sure.
Yeah. So I highly recommend, if you love an easy fantasy read, because that's what I need right now, is easy reads.
Yeah.
I'm on the road so much.
Something you can put down for days at a time and then come back and read it when you have the spare moment.
Exactly.
That's crazy though. I love this. Where are your books? Where can we read what you've published?
Yeah, so I self-publish. I have not had the time to really dive deep into the querying world. And again, anyone who's been a writer, it's intense. You're sending letters and you're getting rejections every week. Like, just, nope, not this, not for me. Not so. Like, you know what? I don't need them to tell me like about my books. Like, let me just publish them myself. And if people want to read them, they can come find them. And so that's what I do. I publish on Inkit currently. I'm actually also an ambassador for the platform Inkit, which is where writers can go. What I love about their platform is that they basically, like, if you think of the Twitch world, like, people on Twitch play video games and people can subscribe and, like, you know, buy them coffee, do this, do that. And writers can even, you know, send copies of their books to people. And it's really easy for writers to get noticed on platforms like Inkit, just because, like, it's an easy place for people to come subscribe, read their books, like, comment, help them get better. Because that's another thing I'm looking for at this phase when I don't have, like, you know, a best-selling book or all that, is just feedback. Like, I think every writer wants feedback first, constructive feedback. So that's what I've been able to find, and I'm publishing my 6th novel now, so I'm on number 6.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'm
like
so cool.
freaking out right now. This is so cool. Like, we have to chat about this, like, offline,
I don't know how you find the time. This is incredible.
People always ask me, how do I find the time? I wake up probably like 5, especially when Brian's not around, I'm like, I wake up at 5 a.m. and I am writing till, you know, as long as I can. So,
wow. That's super cool. I love it.
I was going to ask you what your Birdie Little Secret is, but I just feel like that was...
I spilled quite a few secrets, I feel like, today.
You did? Cool. No, you gave us so many. Yeah. If you have one more that you could, like, pull out, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah. That one is a good one, though. That one's really good.
That one was really good.
I think my biggest secret is probably the video gaming. Like, if you really want, if you want to be able to, like, have a great long distance relationship and have some fun,
it's a really good one.
Video gaming, especially if you're a guy like likes certain games. Like, I mean, I'm not saying you should take up COD, because that's like a tough. That's a tough world. Like, I know that it's a tough world. But like, you know, Fortnite, one of those, like, or Rocket League is another good game recommendation. It's something fun.
Ladies, write this down.
I know.
Get out your notepads. Get out a pen.
Kelsi, have you played Split Fiction with Brian?
Yes, I have. We haven't played the whole game. It's really good. I have a hard time playing with him when we're, like, long distance. Like, it's better when we're together.
Okay,
Split screen and all that. Because it's just easier. Versus Fortnite, it's kind of mindless. Like, you can kind of just, like, play.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Split Fiction's really good. I do love that game.
I think I've had one victory royale in my day.
Wow,
just one, like 8 years ago.
Are we gonna start like a gaming league? Like, right
no,
now?
It was like in college
I know.
when that became a thing. I played like a few times, and then I got the one, and I was like, all right, I think I can retire.
We're just gamer, reader, golf girls over here.
Yeah.
We're nerds. I love it. Like,
I love the worlds colliding.
I'm here for the nerds. I'm a nerd, so.
Yeah. Okay, we love it. So, video games to meet your soulmate on tour. We see a lot of these players play. We were just talking about in this episode earlier, the CJ Cup Byron Nelson. We just wrapped that up, and they write like mental health awareness on the back of their bib on Saturday, and a lot of them wrote play COD. And I was like, there's so many boys that just like turn in their scorecard and go play COD. It seems like that's the vibe.
Yes, my sister's a gamer girl though, and she is always like, she teases. She's like, COD's a red flag game. She says.
Okay.
Wait, hot take.
Well, who plays COD, just beware.
Just careful, girls. Tread carefully.
Look up their stats online.
Look up their
see where they're at in the power rankings.
If they have a mustache, don't count them out.
Don't count them out. There's some work that needs to be done.
You're giving like the best dating tips ever, like in this episode. It's so good.
This is what we needed.
Also, before we let you go, like, is
oh yeah,
happening like
got the college ring. We're missing another though.
Okay. Like, any future plans coming up? Do you have any like hints coming, or are you like totally whatever will be? Yeah.
Well, Brian tells me he's like, you gotta be like, he's a surprise guy. He's like,
okay,
like that's. But I'm like, oh my gosh, but like suspense for like 5+ years is a long time to be in suspense. Any of my other girlies out there know. But, I mean, we met literally when, I was 23, he was 26, and we were both just like, not, we were like, we're there for a good time, not a long time. That's like what friends, like we were just having fun. And we're both got to finally to the place now where we're like, oh gosh, we're having success. Like, yeah, like maybe it's time for that next step now. But yeah, we're both definitely like mentally, physically ready. It's just about timing. And as you all know, I've already figured out this year, God gave us a wonderful, wonderful blessing with this win. And I'm like, it's all in his timing, because he knows when the right time is. And sometimes we just got to trust, and even though it's difficult, but if we do, we'll be rewarded for it. So
I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Like, you and Brian are just, we can tell, beautiful people, like inside and out. We're so happy with all of your success so far, and in the future, countless more trophies and weddings to plan, and so many other things are coming for you guys.
Best-selling novels.
Yes, best-selling novels. Like, we know it's all coming to you guys. So we can't thank you enough for sitting down and like getting to share that with us. So thank you so much.
You guys are awesome. You guys are so cool. I'm so glad I got to finally meet you, Sydney. And
yay, thank you.
I feel like I just made a best friend.
Oh my God, yes. Like, I mean, you guys are like two peas in a pod.
I could have asked her a million bajillion questions.
When she started talking about the books, I was like, Sydney's probably geeking out right now.
Could you see I was like vibrating? Yeah. I was like ready to ask another question. I was like, okay, Cass better not pipe in right here, because
I knew. I felt the energy through the screen. And I was like, just stay quiet, Cass. For once in your life, stay quiet.
The favorite book one, I was definitely like trying to use our like telekinesis.
Yeah. And then she said Nancy Drew, and I was like, oh my God, I know that.
Yeah.
No, I stay quiet.
It was such a good interview. I love, those are some of my favorites, where it's just so chatty, and she was just so wonderful at letting us learn like so much about her relationship, and just that trust that she gives us. And like, cute. I loved it. So good.
Almost made me cry a few times.
I know. When she got emotional too.
I know.
I was like, oh, this is like our favorite moments. Yeah. And that's what we hope, like, you guys too who are listening take so much from it too, to just be able to hear like that true inside scoop from these women. Because
it is true. It's like, these wags are one of a kind.
Yes.
Like, I mean, again, we say it all the time. Yeah. But it's such a unique sport. There's one player, and then his teammates are the wife and girlfriend and fiance and the coach and the caddy. Like, that's the team. And it's their role is very important. And to see that Kelsi specifically like has her own thing going and is 6 publications, like, I know, like, she
crazy. You could also hear like how passionate she was about her, what she is doing in her own life too. And I loved hearing about it.
To hear that.
Yeah. Super great.
We'll see Brian this week at the Truist Championship in my stomping grounds, everyone.
This is super exciting for you.
In good old Philadelphia.
Wow.
It'll probably be the only time it's there, because it's usually held at Quail Hollow, but they have a major this year, so it's going to the Philadelphia Cricket Club, and I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I think a lot of tour players are a little nervous, because I think this specific golf course is quite challenging isn't played very often.
No.
So
it's a small venue. Yeah. And also, like, I was looking at the weather, because if we had another delay.
Trauma.
No, but I'll be going on the weekend to see my family. But I was looking at the weather, and I'm like, 60 degrees? What is that? 60? Like, that's cold.
It is.
So, I mean, the players are probably going to be cold.
They're going to be a little bundled up.
They're going to be like, no, it's not going to be cold, but it's not going to be warm either.
No. Well, I didn't know where you were going with that.
This is not about me, so.
Right. Because I was like, 60. I mean, you're from the north, so I'm like, do you think that's cold? Or?
I think it's cold now.
Yeah, now. That's what I'm saying.
Guys, I went to Syracuse, and I used to, like, be out and about in negative 10-degree weather, and now I think 60 degrees is cold. So.
I mean,
a lot can change.
Yeah. I mean, let's all reminisce about our college days, what we used to wear going out when it was like literally 10 degrees outside.
Well, you would love to reminisce about your college days, because alcohol.
Because it supports my mental health.
It's your favorite pastime.
It's my favorite. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I did go to FSU, so it was a perfect spot for it.
It is.
I love my Knowles. And wow, what a great time. So yeah.
So anyways.
We
will not be seeing Scottie there.
No. He is deciding to take just a break because, like Cass said, there is a major 2 weeks from now.
Yep.
And Scottie actually mentioned too, for his new routine for like major prep is he won't play the week before. Yeah, to help him prepare for that tournament. I mean, he just went wire to wire though.
He did go wire to wire.
Yeah,
that's a big deal. What is wire to wire, Sydney?
Okay, so everyone, I'm so excited you asked. I didn't know what.
Something tells me in your eyes that you wanted me to ask you.
That I know what wire to wire means now. Okay. I had no idea what wire to wire meant. And I heard the whole tournament people saying,
yes, you did know that.
No, I didn't know what wire to wire meant.
I call beep.
No, I truly didn't.
Remember when Akshay Bhatia went wire to wire and he wrote it on his wrist? Come on.
I forgot he wrote wire to wire on his wrist.
He did.
Okay, but I didn't know what it meant in like a technical sense. Like I knew what wire to wire meant, like you were playing really well. Right? And like it was good. I
would say you did really well with your context clues right there.
Right.
Wow.
So the definition
what does it mean?
Of wire to wire is a term used in competitive
she's looking at her screen.
or sports for a champion who maintained lead during an entire competition. So that's like an overall what wire to wire means.
Give an example.
Well, okay, so in golf, referencing a player who wins a title while holding the lowest aggregate score from the close of each round. So like what Scottie just did, he just had the lead for every single round, going into every single round. But I didn't know that wire to wire actually the term originated from horse racing.
Oh, of
where
course.
A wire would stretch from at the start and the finish, so the horses had to cross each wire. Wow. So they would win if a horse won, they would win from start to finish because they would cross each wire to wire, like literal wire to wire.
It all makes very perfect sense why you wanted me to ask you what wire to wire meant.
And since 1875, the Kentucky Derby has only had 23 winners complete a wire to wire finish, and the last to do it was Authentic in 2020.
Wow.
So that's some knowledge for you girlies. So
write that down.
Yeah. And also, because you teed it up so well, FSU, they were the first D1 team to go wire to wire in their 1999 season. And that means they had the finish of the season, they were ranked the #1 team, like the entire, from start to finish, going into each game.
Okay. How does it relate to basketball? Yep.
Four national basketball teams have completed wire-to-wire victories to clinch the NBA title since 1970.
So wire-to-wire applies to all sports.
Yes.
See, that is a fun fact that I did not know.
All sports.
Yeah.
Yep. Baseball too. Golf, basketball, college football, horse racing. That's everything.
All the
I just really dove deep into this, and I wanted you to ask about it so bad.
Oh my God! Wow.
So maybe there will be a wire-to-wire finish at the Truist Championship.
We'll let you know.
Well,
we will let you know. Oh, actually, we won't
let you know.
There's no episode next week, guys.
Actually, we're so sorry, guys. There's not going to be an episode next week. So
I'm going wire to wire from Philadelphia to New York to Cape Cod to back to Jacksonville. Wire to wire.
Wire to wire. Wire to wire in all aspects of life.
Yeah. So no episode next week.
Yeah.
We just need like a little breather, and I won't be here. So it's unless Sid wants to take this. I feel like she honestly that performance. I feel like you don't even need me.
I don't think people would listen, but I could never do this without you.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Oh, God. What was that last segment. I don't know. But guys, again, we're going to be so sad to miss you next week, but we're just going to take a little break. But normally you can tune in every Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed listening to today's episode, please like and subscribe, and pretty please leave us a review. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Birdie Little Secrets Pod.
Go wire to wire on our socials.
Wire to wire, people. Follow on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Wire to wire. Thanks, guys. See you next week for more tea.